Today is Monday, April 4th, 2016. This is Tom Dillon, the Lifetime Liberal, and the title of this rant will be The Deification of Hillary Must Stop. Now, there's a lot to like about Hillary. Even for the Berners, there is a lot to like about her. And of course, there is a lot to dislike about her. I get that completely. Hillary is very, very well defined. And she has been well defined by our friends with the right-wing scheme machine for the last 25 years. And that, unfortunately, seems to be the way our friends of the Berners are going in terms of just crucifying her about every single thing. There seems to be the same absolute disdain for Hillary by the Berners as by what I would be seeing from the Tea Partiers. It has gotten to the point that even on some of the more progressive, let's just say, websites, YouTube videos, etc., where they actually talk about it being a badge of honor, that if Bernie is not nominated, that they will not vote for Hillary. Now, they're not saying they're not going to vote for anyone else on the ballots, but they will not vote for Hillary. And, and I'm just going to myself, this is asinine. This is stupid. This is unbelievable, especially when we have a Supreme Court that will have possibly at least 2 new nominees, which needs to be turned over as an aggressive, progressive Supreme Court, because we've had that 25 or 30 years of the aggressive, conservative Supreme Court. The Federalists and the constitutionalists, or whatever they call it. It's not a living document, it's a dead document. It's just as it is. And this complete disdain for Hillary as a candidate, and even as a human being, is they're feeling that they're, completely repulsed by her. It just has to go. Now, there has been a little bit of pushback. I saw on the Daily Beast, I think it was Michael Tomasky, very good article about Hillary. Very good article in The Guardian. I can't remember the lady's name. I should have written it down. And then there was a piece, I believe, on Daily Kos, where some lady listed, maybe it was coming from Rachel Maddow's show, listed, 30 different items that Hillary had voted for that were against the oil and gas industry in the last 15 years, since she became a senator, and include the stuff that came after she was Secretary of State. So against additional drilling in Anwar, for getting rid of all of the taxes for the oil and gas industry, etc. About 30 separate items, and so she's not a 100% shrill for the oil industry. And even our friends, these Berners, are coming back and picking up the right-wing memes on Benghazi and the email controversy. And in fact, one of them was even, almost bragging about the fact that Hillary would be indicted in May. I wonder if this person will eat their words in reference to that. But I can't see, and then just the absolute, how would you say, it's almost egocentric, that it's a badge of honor not to vote for Hillary. And as I said, there has been some pushback. But Bernie's positions and Hillary's positions, in terms of where they are, they're like this Whereas Bernie's or Hillary's positions against anyone that's going to be nominated on the Republican side are going to be, my arms aren't long enough to see the distance, between them. Because even though they don't necessarily agree on the exact same position on a particular issues, let's just say they are both in favor of comprehensive immigration reform. They are very much in favor of the Supreme Court decision in terms of gay marriage. They are for increasing protections for the LGBT community. They are for and believe wholeheartedly in global climate change and the need to do drastic measures to make this come about. Hopefully within the realm that it can be determined and by the private industry, and they will work towards it. They are firmly in agreement that the minimum wage must be increased. Of course, they're not in agreement how much. And of course, states and cities now are pushing for the $15 minimum wage. My son works in the retail industry, or one of my sons. If he goes to another section of this area, a larger city part, the minimum wage is higher there. It will affect his labor costs, his profitability on his business. So I'm well aware of how that goes. But it is the right thing to do, and businesses can adjust, can still make plenty of money, etc. What's something else? Advancing taxing on the rich and on corporations, especially the transaction tax on the hedge funds, etc. And also, and I think Hillary's more in favor of this, is for increased sensible gun legislation to keep guns out of the hands of people who should not even be remotely close to it. So Hillary and Bernie's positions are really close on a lot of issues, and those could be the deciding issues of this campaign. But the vitriol that I'm seeing on the other side of the Bernie burners, now I like everything that Bernie has to offer. I want him to continue to stay in. I want him to continue to push his positions as opposed to trashing Hillary. Continue to push your positions. Keep pushing Hillary further to the left. But we have a primary in Wisconsin tomorrow. Hillary was way up. They did some polling. She went down a little bit. Now she's a little bit up. Let's just say Bernie wins by a couple points. Still, Bernie will be tremendously behind on the primary delegates, and that doesn't include the superdelegates. Then there are primaries coming up in New York, Pennsylvania, Maryland, and California, and it's showing that she is probably ahead, even though there hasn't been a lot of polling, by double digits in every one of those primaries. Can things change? Of course they can change. Can Bernie be the nominee? Of course he can be the nominee. But the best way for him to be the nominee is to continue to push his positive, progressive message, to continue to push Hillary to the left, as opposed to trashing her. What was the one thing the Washington Post gave him 3 Pinocchios for his trashing of Hillary in reference to taking money from the oil and gas industry, where I just said there was a long list of things that I believe it was the Rachel Maddow show, of all of the things that Hillary had voted for that were against the interests of the oil and gas industry. So she is very much in sync with Bernie. There are differences on some things. Yes, she's more of a corporatist, but the thing is, there will be a nominee. There will be a new president, and every single vote counts. And anyone who is a Bernie burner, who is believing this myth that it's better to be pure and not vote for Hillary than hold your nose and vote for Hillary, as they see, and they're even bragging that they don't care if Trump gets elected or Cruz gets elected. We'll be able to take that over the next time. And that's not going to happen. That will not happen. This is going to be a unique campaign. It's going to be very dirty. It's going to cost a lot of money. And I will say one thing about Hillary is that she is an incredible fighter. And all of that stuff just goes right off her back. When she was in practicing law, the story was that her nickname in Arkansas, when she was privately practicing law, her nickname was Killer, because when she got into the courtroom, she killed him. And that's what we need, and we still need to have her continue to push to the left. Again, Tom Dillon, the Lifetime Liberal. You can find me on Facebook under the Lifetime Liberal. Join, chat. All comments, both positive and negative, are appreciated.